Life has a way of teaching us lessons in the most unexpected ways. Often it is not through our successes, but through our losses that we truly find clarity, growth, and faith. When everything seems to be going well, it's easy to believe that we are in control, that our hard work and determination are the driving forces behind our achievements. But when we face setbacks, when the things we cherish are taken away from us, we are forced to confront a deeper reality. It is in these moments of loss that many of us begin to realize there is something greater at play, something beyond our understanding. Losing something significant, whether it's a career, a relationship, or even our health, strips away the illusions we build around ourselves. It brings us face to face with our own vulnerability, our own limitations. And in that vulnerability, we often find faith. It is a humbling experience to recognize that despite all our efforts, we are not always in control. But it is also a liberating one, because when we let go of the need to control everything, we open ourselves up to the possibility that there is a higher power guiding us. Loss often feels like an end, but in many ways it is a beginning. It is the moment when we stop relying solely on our own strength and start seeking something greater. Faith doesn't always come when life is easy. It is often born in the darkest times when we feel lost and alone. It is in those moments that we begin to understand that we are part of something bigger than ourselves. Loss has a way of stripping away the noise, the distractions, and the superficial. It forces us to ask the difficult questions. Why did this happen? What is the purpose of my life? What comes next? And while the answers may not come immediately, the search itself brings us closer to faith. We begin to see that even in our most difficult times, there is a plan, a purpose that we may not yet understand. Faith doesn't mean that we will never face hardships again. It doesn't mean that life will suddenly become easy. What it does mean is that we no longer face those hardships alone. We begin to trust that there is a reason for our struggles, that there is a lesson to be learned, and that there is a path forward. Loss teaches us that our achievements, our possessions, and even our relationships are temporary. What remains constant is the presence of something greater, something eternal. In embracing loss, we find that our faith grows stronger. We learn to appreciate the present moment, to be grateful for what we have, and to trust that even when things don't go as planned, there is a higher purpose at work. It is a transformative realization, one that changes not just how we see the world, but how we live our lives. Loss is painful, but it is also a powerful teacher. It breaks us down, but in doing so, it allows us to rebuild with a stronger foundation, one built on faith, trust, and a deep sense of purpose. And in that process, we discover that faith is not just something we have, it is something that carries us through even the darkest times. When we pause and truly observe the world around us, it becomes nearly impossible to ignore the intricate design and beauty that exists in every corner of our universe. From the rising and setting of the sun each day to the delicate balance of ecosystems, there is a profound sense of order and intention in the natural world. The complexity of life, from the smallest cell to the vastness of the galaxies, points to something far greater than human capability. It is easy to marvel at human achievements, our technology, architecture, and scientific discoveries, but even our greatest inventions pale in comparison to the wonders of nature. Consider the human body, a system so complex and precise that even the most advanced machines cannot replicate its intricacies. The way our hearts beat without us thinking, how our bodies heal themselves, how every cell knows its exact function. All these things reveal an intelligence beyond human comprehension. The beauty of a sunset, the rhythm of the tides, the changing of the seasons. All these phenomena occur with such precision that it is hard to believe they are merely products of chance. Each detail in nature seems to serve a purpose, contributing to the larger whole in a way that feels intentional. This sense of design suggests the presence of a designer, an architect whose vision goes beyond what we can see or understand. Every leaf, every drop of water, every grain of sand is a testament to the greatness of that designer. It is often said that nature is the art of God, and when we look at the world through that lens, we begin to see the divine in every aspect of our surroundings. The complexity and beauty of creation remind us that there is something greater than ourselves at work. Even in the chaos of life, there is an underlying order that keeps everything in balance. This realization often brings a sense of awe and humility. It reminds us that we are part of something much larger than our individual lives. The universe is vast, and our existence within it is both fragile and extraordinary. The presence of such intricate design in every aspect of life challenges the notion that everything is random. It invites us to consider the possibility of a higher power, a creator, whose brilliance is reflected in the world we live in. It is this realization that often sparks faith in many people. When we recognize the design in creation, we begin to see that life itself is a gift, one that is given with purpose and intention. This understanding can change how we live our lives. It encourages us to seek meaning beyond material success, to appreciate the beauty around us, and to trust that there is a plan, even when we don't see it. Just as a painting reflects the vision of an artist, our world reflects the vision of its creator. The more we observe and appreciate that design, the more we are drawn to the belief that there is a divine presence behind it all. This belief is not just about acknowledging that something greater exists. It is about finding comfort and strength in that presence. It is about realizing that we are not alone, that our lives are not accidents, and that there is a purpose behind our existence. Recognizing the design and creation often leads to a sense of gratitude. We begin to see our lives as part of a larger masterpiece, each moment contributing to the whole. This perspective can be transformative, helping us navigate life's challenges with a sense of faith and trust. It reminds us that even when life feels uncertain, the same intelligence that created the universe is at work in our own lives. This realization can bring a deep sense of peace and fulfillment. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have been given. It encourages us to live with purpose, to cherish each day, and to trust that there is a greater plan guiding us. In seeing the design and creation, we see the greatness of God, and in that recognition, we often find our own sense of purpose and belonging. In a world driven by ambition, success is often measured by material wealth, technological advancements, and personal achievements. It is easy to get caught up in the pursuit of these things, believing that they are the ultimate markers of a fulfilling life. We work tirelessly to earn more, build more, and achieve more, thinking that once we reach a certain level of success, we will find true happiness and contentment. Yet, time and time again, we see that material success alone does not bring lasting fulfillment. No matter how much wealth we accumulate or how advanced our technology becomes, there remains a sense of emptiness that these external accomplishments cannot fill. Faith offers something deeper, something that transcends the temporary satisfaction of material success. It provides a sense of purpose, a connection to something greater than ourselves, and a source of strength that material possessions simply cannot offer. The pursuit of material wealth often leads to a constant cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. We achieve one goal only to set another, never truly feeling complete. Technology, no matter how advanced, cannot address the deeper questions of our existence: why we are here, what our purpose is, and what happens after this life. Faith, however, provides answers that go beyond the tangible world. It offers comfort in times of uncertainty, hope in moments of despair, and a sense of belonging in a vast and often overwhelming universe. When we rely solely on material success, we place our happiness in things that are fleeting. Wealth can be lost, technology can become obsolete, and achievements can be forgotten. But faith is constant. It is not dependent on external circumstances, and it does not diminish over time. It is a source of inner peace that remains even when everything else falls apart. Faith teaches us to value what truly matters: love, kindness, compassion, and integrity. These are the things that give life meaning, and they cannot be bought or manufactured. In times of hardship, material wealth offers little solace. It cannot heal a broken heart, mend a lost relationship, or bring back a loved one. Technology, no matter how advanced, cannot ease the pain of loneliness or provide genuine human connection. But faith offers hope. It reminds us that there is a purpose behind our struggles, and that we are never truly alone. Faith gives us the strength to keep going when everything else seems hopeless. It provides a sense of direction when we feel lost, and a sense of peace when we are overwhelmed. Sense of peace when we are overwhelmed. Material success often brings with it the fear of loss. The more we have, the more we worry about losing it. But faith frees us from that fear. It teaches us that our worth is not defined by what we own, but by who we are. It encourages us to focus on the present moment, to be grateful for what we have, and to trust that even when we face challenges, there is a greater plan at work. Faith also inspires us to use our success for a higher purpose. It reminds us that wealth and technology are tools that can be used to make a positive impact on the world. When guided by faith, our success becomes more than just personal achievement. It becomes a means to help others, to spread kindness, and to contribute to the greater good. Faith over material success does not mean that ambition and hard work are unimportant. It means recognizing that while these things have value, they are not the ultimate goal. True fulfillment comes from a deeper connection to something greater, and that connection is found through faith. In a constantly changing world, faith remains a steady anchor. It provides clarity in moments of confusion, strength in times of weakness, and hope in the face of adversity. No amount of wealth or technological advancement can replace the peace and purpose that faith brings. The purpose of faith. It is a reminder that while material success may bring temporary satisfaction, true and lasting fulfillment comes from believing in something beyond ourselves. Faith offers a sense of completeness that no external achievement can provide, making it an invaluable part of a meaningful life. Life is often unpredictable, filled with twists and turns that we never see coming. We make plans, set goals, and work hard to achieve them, but sometimes life takes us in a completely different direction. In those moments, it's easy to feel lost, frustrated, or even defeated. But when we look back on our lives, we often realize that those unexpected detours were not random. They were part of a greater plan. Trusting the process means believing that every experience, whether good or bad, is shaping us into who we are meant to be. It is the understanding that even when things don't go as planned, there is a purpose behind every challenge and every setback. Often we try to control every aspect of our lives, but the reality is that there are many things beyond our control. Trusting the process means letting go of that need for control and having faith that everything is happening for a reason. It means believing that even when we don't understand why something is happening, it is leading us to where we need to be. This trust is not always easy. When we face difficulties, it is natural to question why things are happening the way they are. But over time, we begin to see that the challenges we faced were necessary for our growth. Sometimes the very things we thought were setbacks turn out to be the most important lessons of our lives. Trusting the process also means being patient. In a world where we are used to instant results, it can be difficult to wait for things to unfold. But growth takes time. Just like a seed doesn't become a tree overnight, our journey takes time and patience. Each step we take, even when it feels small or insignificant, is moving us forward. It is often only when we look back that we realize how far we have come. When we trust the process, we learn to appreciate the journey instead of just focusing on the destination. We begin to see that every experience, whether good or bad, is shaping us and teaching us valuable lessons. It is through our struggles that we develop resilience, through our failures that we learn, and through our hardships that we grow stronger. Trusting the process also means having faith in ourselves. It is about believing that we have the strength to overcome challenges, even when things seem difficult. It means understanding that every challenge we face is an opportunity to learn and grow. Sometimes the path to success is not a straight line. It is filled with obstacles and detours, but each of these challenges is an important part of our journey. Every setback is an opportunity to learn, every failure is a lesson, and every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Trusting the process means understanding that even when things don't go as planned, we are still on the right path. It means believing that every experience, no matter how difficult, is preparing us for something greater. Life is a journey, and every step we take is an important part of that journey. Trusting the process means embracing each moment, even when it is difficult, and believing that everything is happening for a reason. It means having faith that even when we don't see the whole picture, every piece is falling into place. It is about finding peace in the uncertainty and believing that we are exactly where we need to be. Trusting the process is about letting go of the need for immediate answers and having faith that everything will make sense in time. It means understanding that sometimes we have to go through difficult times to reach our full potential. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to grow. Every setback is a lesson, and every experience is shaping us into who we are meant to be. Trusting the process means believing that even when things don't go as planned, we are still on the right path. It is about having faith that every experience, no matter how difficult, is preparing us for something greater. Life is a journey, and every step we take is an important part of that journey. Trusting the process means embracing each moment, even when it is difficult, and believing that everything is happening for a reason. Life often presents us with situations that don't align with what we want or expect. We set our hearts on certain goals, dream of specific outcomes, and hope for things to go exactly as planned. But more often than not, life takes a different course. It can be frustrating and disheartening when things don't go our way, but over time we begin to realize that what we want is not always what we need. God, in His infinite wisdom, provides us with what we need to grow, to learn, and to become who we are meant to be. Sometimes what we need is difficult to accept because it challenges us, pushes us out of our comfort zones, and forces us to confront our fears and weaknesses. Yet these are the moments that shape us the most. It is easy to question why we face hardships, why certain doors close, and why we don't always get what we desire. But often it is only in hindsight that we see the bigger picture. What we thought was a setback turns out to be a setup for something better. What we perceived as a failure becomes the foundation for our greatest success. And what we considered a loss often leads us to our most significant gains. God's plan is not always obvious, and His timing is rarely what we expect. But there is a purpose behind every challenge and every delay. When we don't get what we want, it's often because we are being prepared for something greater. The journey may be difficult, but the lessons we learn along the way are invaluable. These lessons build our character, strengthen our faith, and equip us with the tools we need for the future. There are times when we pray for certain things, believing that they are what will make us happy or successful. But God, knowing what lies ahead, sometimes withholds those things because He knows they are not what we need at that moment. It takes faith to trust that what we receive, even when it is not what we asked for, is exactly what we need. Challenges and hardships often come into our lives not to break us, but to build us. They teach us resilience, patience, and humility. They force us to rely on faith rather than our own understanding. When we don't get what we want, we are often given something far more valuable: the strength to endure, the wisdom to grow, and the courage to keep moving forward. It is through these challenges that we discover our true potential. God's plan for our lives is often beyond what we can imagine. We may have our own ideas of what success looks like, but God sees the bigger picture. He knows what we need to become the best versions of ourselves. Sometimes that means taking us through difficult times, removing things from our lives that we cling to, and leading us down paths we would never have chosen for ourselves. But every step of the journey is intentional. Even when we don't understand it, every experience is shaping us. It is easy to have faith when everything is going well, but true faith is tested when things don't go as planned. It is in those moments that we must trust that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for our good. Every challenge we face, every door that closes, and every disappointment we experience is preparing us for something greater. It is often said that when one door closes, another opens. But sometimes we are so focused on the closed door that we miss the new opportunities that are being placed in front of us. God's plan is not always what we expect, but it is always what we need. Trusting that plan means accepting that we may not always get what we want, but we will always receive what we need. It means believing that even our struggles have a purpose, and that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. When we embrace this mindset, we begin to see that even the most difficult times are part of a larger, beautiful plan. We learn to be grateful for the lessons, to find strength in our faith, and to trust that we are being guided towards something greater than we could ever imagine. God's plan is perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own. And trusting that plan allows us to find peace, purpose, and fulfillment in every season of life. Faith is often tested in the most challenging moments of our lives. It is easy to believe when things are going well, when our dreams are being realized, and when life seems to be unfolding exactly as we hoped. But true faith is not measured in times of ease. It is measured in moments of uncertainty, fear, and adversity. It is during these times that our belief in a higher power, in a greater purpose, is truly put to the test. Trusting God, even when we don't understand His plan, is one of the most difficult yet profound acts of faith. Life is filled with situations that make us question everything. Why certain things happen, why we face particular struggles, and why our prayers sometimes seem unanswered. But faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting that there is a reason, even when we cannot see it. This trust is not passive, it is active. It requires us to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. It demands that we hold on to hope, even when everything around us seems hopeless. Trusting God means believing that every challenge we face is part of a larger story, one that is still being written. It is about understanding that our perspective is limited, but God's perspective is infinite. We see a single moment, while He sees the entire journey. What may seem like a setback to us is often a setup for something greater that we cannot yet comprehend. In times of difficulty, our natural instinct is to seek immediate solutions, to find a way out of our struggles as quickly as possible. But faith teaches us that sometimes the answers do not come immediately. Sometimes we are meant to endure, to learn, and to grow through the process. Trusting God means accepting that His timing is not always aligned with our own. We may want things to happen quickly, but God knows when the time is right. This waiting period can be challenging, but it is often in the waiting that our faith is strengthened. We learn patience, resilience, and humility. We learn to rely not on our own understanding, but on a power greater than ourselves. There will be moments when our faith is shaken, when we question whether God is truly there, whether He hears our prayers, and whether He cares. But faith is not about the absence of doubt. It is about choosing to believe despite our doubts. It is about holding on to hope even when everything seems uncertain. Trusting God means believing that our pain is not without purpose, that our struggles are not in vain, and that our journey has meaning. It means understanding that even in the darkest times, we are not alone. God's presence is constant, even when we cannot feel it. There is a profound peace that comes with trusting God. It does not mean that our problems disappear, but it means that we no longer carry them alone. It means that even in our weakest moments, we have a source of strength that never fails. Trusting God also means surrendering our need for control. As humans, we often feel the need to control every aspect of our lives, to plan every detail, and to ensure that everything goes according to our expectations. But faith requires us to let go, to surrender our plans and trust that God's plan is greater. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength. It takes courage to let go, to admit that we do not have all the answers, and to trust that everything will work out in the end. Trusting God even when we don't understand His plan means finding peace in uncertainty, hope in adversity, and strength in weakness. It means believing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, every setback is a lesson, and every moment is part of a larger purpose. It is about understanding that our journey is guided by a power greater than ourselves, one that sees what we cannot see and knows what we cannot know. This trust is what gives us the strength to keep going, even when the path is difficult, and to find meaning in every experience, knowing that we are part of a greater story that is still being written.